this computer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rise and Fit's team call for July 11th. Man, the year is half over already. Isn't that kind of nuts? And those teachers that are on our screens definitely don't want to hear that, but maybe the moms of young children are like, yes. I'm kind of split. I don't know really what to do. But yeah, halfway through the month, halfway through the year. Well, not necessarily halfway through the month, I guess, but we're getting there, halfway through the week. And we are here tonight to talk about GSRs. It was a request by you that we chit-chat about this. I always want to serve and do you well and make these times beneficial to you. So first and foremost, I see several new faces on the screen. So if this is the first time you've ever been on one of these calls, like raise your hand like this. Yay! Woohoo! Welcome. Welcome to the Rise and Fit calls. We're so happy to have you here. And I'm excited to see you, and I can't wait to get to know you better and just know who everyone is. I can see people's names. Erica, Ashley, good to see you again in person. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So we have any like brand newbies to the team that like we need to introduce or talk about? Anyone have anybody? Do you want intro? You're still inviting your coaches? Anyone? You can unmute yourself and need to. No? Jill's just chatting away with somebody. She's probably inviting like a boss to the flash sale because she's a ninja like that. But I want to introduce the lady in my screen, I guess. She's the top corner. Her name's Michelle. Wave hi, Michelle.
Hello.
We met at Super Saturday, and she is jumping into our team and checking things out and seeing what's awesome about our little team here. She's been a customer in the past, and but her connection is with somebody far, far away, and so she wanted to connect with somebody a little closer. So we adopt all kinds of people into Rise and Fit, and we've got several that are a part of other teams or just want a local feel. And so they're here with us as well. And so Michelle, welcome to Rise and Fit.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's get rolling then. Let me start sharing my screen. This is when I go crazy and can't see the chat. So somebody will have to monitor that part. Oh, there's my post that you can see in my email because I didn't have it pulled up. All right. Maybe I'll just do this. Chat, then you can see. All right. Thank you, Jill. Glad you got this. Okay. I'm just going to present from here. Okay. So last time we talked, you guys said that I said we should talk about volume, and you said, heck no, let's talk about GSRs. How do we get people started right? And this is a topic that, it takes a lot of perfecting, and everyone can do it differently. And it's really a matter of fitting it to what the person is that you're mentoring. And so first I want to start off with some announcements, and then we will get rolling into the GSR stuff. But first and foremost, there's a flash sale happening tomorrow. If you did not know about this, maybe you've been under a rock, maybe you've disconnected from the team page for a little bit, or you've not followed my social media. Either way, now you know. There's a flash sale happening on Thursday from midnight tonight to 11 p.m. tomorrow. Happy and Fit is also doing one. Theirs is a little bit longer, like you can start adding people whenever. And you can add people to the page at any point at this point. But they have to, the sale part of it is Thursday. And so add people to the sale. Let's hit Success Club this month. If you do add people to the flash sale group, you are committing to, if they buy something, you're committing to sending them an Amazon gift card for their purchase. So depending on what they get, it's a varying degree of Amazon gift card. But the benefit of it, people sometimes are like, dude, I don't want to give part of my commission away. But the other part of it is if they become loyal customers, you're going to earn that over and over again. So it's a good thing. And especially if you get some coaches out of it, sometimes it's just that little nudge that people need. People like getting a good deal, especially with something like this where it's going to be helping them, create a lifestyle of health and happiness. So if you need into that flash sale, let me know. Or I'm sure you can comment on the side and somebody that's already in it can add you in, and you can go from there. The second thing is Beat Your Best is the initiative that Beachbody is doing this month, and really kind of for the rest of the year. We're really working on hitting Success Club. They've kind of restructured their Success Club prizes, I guess you could say, and they're not doing something small every month, but something now that if you hit it 1 month, you get one prize. If you hit it 3 months of the rest of the year, you get another prize. And if you hit it all 6 months of the rest of the year, then you get the bigger prize. And then next year it will be one, I think it's all the odds, 1, 3, 5, no, 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. And so it'll be kind of seasoned like that. But the Beat Your Best initiative is you set the last 12 months of your coaching career, or the last chunk of your coaching career if you've not been a coach for a year yet, whatever your highest Success Club number has been in that last 12-month time span. And then that's your best that you have to beat. And so you want to help one more person beyond that, and you earn the bronze medal. If you have 5 more Success Club points, or helping 3 more people than what your best was, then you'll get the silver. And if you go 10 SE or 5 extra people this month than you have in the past, then you go for the gold medal. And if you have coaches underneath of you, if you started building a team and you have one more coach than your best from before, hit Success Club. They have to hit Success Club, not just have a Success Club point, but hit Success Club. Then you will get what's called a star medal. So I'm not sure exactly what everyone's all going for. Drop below in the comments. Let's see what your goals are, or even the numbers that you're shooting for. Myself, I'm looking for 14 women. I want to change 14 women's lives, and I want to add 5 coaches, and I'm already at 3. And I want to have 7 of my coaches hit Success Club, and I'm already at. Well, I'm not at anything yet. I think there's some on the way. We were talking today about a couple that they haven't come through in the back office yet, but they're going to be there very shortly. So, especially with this flash sale that's happening, right? The third thing, I want you to mark your calendars for October 19th through the 21st. And especially if you're in Iowa and you're right here in the area, we want you to be a part of our team retreat. We are going to be going down to Des Moines. And I booked a house. In fact, I'll show you. I booked a house. Find that tab. I booked a cute little house in Des Moines. The Airbnb style is kind of our thing. So the 19th through the 21st, we'll be hanging out here. And Saturday the 20th is Super Saturday. So we'll be in Des Moines for that. And then the 21st, the Sunday, is we have quite a few teammates running the Des Moines Marathon. And so we figured, or the half or whatever they decide to do. So we're going to jump on that bandwagon and cheer them on as well. And if you can't come, we're super sad. But it looks like a nice place, and inside and out. And so we will. And it has laundry, so we can even do our own laundry and have it all taken care of by the time we get home, right? That's like one of the best things about Airbnb sometimes. If you can't come, we're super sad you can't come, but if you can come, let's make it fun, and let's get down there and have some good girl time, as well as some learning, and have a good time with that. So come to Super Saturday. The event and all that stuff will get up soon. We're really trying to, some people are wondering, why aren't we doing Super Saturdays anymore in Vinton? And well, the reason is that we're trying to get a council established here in Iowa. And in order to have a council established, you have to have 100+ people multiple times at a Super Saturday. And so we're trying to get everybody to come together and go to the same Super Saturday. This last time, I think we had 40-ish, which was not so bad for the first time coming together and over a holiday weekend. So we'll see how it grows in the future, especially if we can do fun things like this, where we can get some girl time in, we can get some learning time in, and we can cheer on our teammates and some other things. They do have Super Saturdays all over the country, all over the place. So if you have a Super Saturday near you, it gets closer to October, just head to the website and you can find one that's closest to you and make sure you take advantage. And then the fourth thing on the thing is August 2nd. We have Rachel Hollis event, and her movie is coming out on August 2nd. And I have one ticket left for the Cedar Rapids location. that I purchased. I purchased 10 just so we could sit together. I think they're sold out, maybe not, but you could check if not. And then the Cedar Falls location, I think there are some people that were going there as well. Comment below if you're going there. But I have 1 ticket left for the Cedar Rapids if anyone wants to come that night. Just message me and send me the $16. What, Jill? You cannot wait. I hope that says. Yes, you cannot wait for her new book now. Okay. I was like, I thought you said you couldn't come. And I was like, what? Need to make the screen a little smaller. All right. Yes, I cannot wait for her new book either. Listening to the, for those of us that hit Success Club, May? I think it's May. There was a webinar hosted just by her for just Beachbody coaches, and that happened earlier this week. And she talked a little bit about her book that's coming out in March, and it was phenomenal. I cannot wait it was June's. Okay, thanks, Candace. And it's going to be amazing. Her book comes out in March, but her movie comes out in August. So it's a Thursday night, I believe. Movie starts at 7. Maybe we'll talk about. Yeah, the bobblehead was in May. So we'll get that figured out, and maybe I'll make somebody's day by giving them a Rachel Hollis ticket that we haven't used. So, all right. Tip tonight's coming together. Yay. All right. So July gathering. There's been some question about having a gathering every single month. We just had Super Saturday, but not everyone was able to come. There's lots of things going on with family functions and things with the holiday and whatnot. So it would be great if we could do something and get together yet this month. With the suggestion is maybe getting together at a park and doing a potluck, or just getting together and playing, just hanging out. So shoot me some times and days that might work. I know weekends are super full, so maybe we do a weeknight. But let's just kind of mold it around and see what might work for you and like where we might have that. Which kind of direction, I guess, depends on the night, and then where we might go. So maybe I'll put together a book me now kind of thing, choose date thing. Like what in the comments right now, just kind of think about like what days of the week to kind of avoid or yes to. Anybody have anything left here in July? Any days that will not work? Volleyball's on Thursdays. All right, she's out Thursdays. July's booked. Yeah. Okay. Thursday nights are a no-go. Alrighty. What if we did like a Wednesday night like this instead of a Zoom call? Maybe. Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get to the meat, right? Okay, so you guys want to talk about GSRs. Oops, I don't want to share this. So I want to present this. So let me know if there's questions in the chat. Unmute yourself. I can't see you at this point, so unmute yourself and just ask along the way. And we want to talk about GSRs, but in order to build a team, or in order to have a GSR, a getting starting right call, you have to first build a team. And this business is really built on building teams. You can do retail all day long, and that's great. It's awesome to get commissions from things when people buy stuff from you, whether it's Energize or Shakeology or like Beachbody on Demand or even a single program. But you have to really hustle hard for that, right? Like you're thinking right now about like, how do you help 3 people every single month was a question I was asked earlier. And yeah, you have to do a lot of inviting. You have to do a lot of work for that commission. So one of the things that we really talk about a lot is when you can help people or you can work with people. And this is something that Trina really talks a lot about since Summit, but you can help people or you can work with people. And helping people is the retail side of things. You're helping them get connected with the program. You're helping them get on Shakeology. You're helping them maybe with a performance line item. You're helping them in your groups. But working with people is when you get to bring them on as a colleague, when you get to bring them a part of your team and like make them a part of your organization. and helping them, create a salary from themselves and creating an environment, a business of their own. So a team cycle bonus is where your salary really comes from. And so that is really where that residual income that comes from volume, and that is built from the teammates that are below you. You start earning that team cycle bonus when you hit Emerald. So you have one coach on one side and one coach on the other side underneath of you. And that's when you earn, every time there's 200 to 100 volume points underneath of you, like $300 worth of products sold underneath of you, that's when you have a cycle. And you earn that $14 as a Emerald coach, 16 as a Ruby coach, and 18 as a Diamond. And so we'll talk more about volume later, but in order to first have a get starting right call, you have to be able to want to build your team and know why building your team is important. So that's kind of what we're talking about this. Inviting is super vital to your business, whether it's to people that you want to help or people that you want to work with. Either one is important, but how you market it, how you talk about it, how you invite to it is really important. And you really have to have a lot of belief. Trina, if you've heard of her calls before, the 3 beliefs and the 6 roles in life, what it is that you really believe in, the things that you really love doing, the things that you just can't live without, and you talk excitedly about, those are the things that people want to know more about, right? So like if I got a new pair of jeans, I would tell people where I bought them if they asked me what they were about, right? And I have no problems doing that. The Rachel Hollis book, I could sell probably 100 Rachel Hollis books because I just love her book and I love her movie. And I know I'm going to love her movie because I love her books, right? So it's just a matter of, I don't have any problems selling Rachel Hollis, even though I have no connection to her whatsoever other than being a fangirl. So we have to have that kind of same belief in ourselves and that same belief in what we're doing as coaches, and having that same kind of belief in our team that this is the bomb diggity. Like this is the place where people want to be. This is the place where we want to invite as many people as possible to. And it's us that makes it icky. It's us that makes it fearful. It's our fear that gets in the way. So when we can have such strong faith and belief in what we're doing and what we want to do with this business, what we want to, how this has helped change our lives, that's when we put faith in our hearts and push out the fear. And that's when a lot of this just starts clicking and making sense. So today we really want to work on, why it's important to build a team. And then when you start building that team and you get people interested in joining your team, doing a get starting right call. So there's kind of 3 parts to getting a coach started right. And I severely apologize to people that I started originally with because, these are something that you have to get good at as you go. Like there's not something of like you do it once and it's great and it's something that you start and you get better at as you improve. So don't beat yourself up for giving a bad GSR or not getting your coaches starting right. You can start at any point with your coaches to start mentoring them. You can start at any point doing these 3 things and really encourage and help people along, especially like I've got a few coaches that have, maybe fallen away for a little while, like life happened, and now they're kind of jumping back in. It's kind of like starting a new program or starting a new diet or, starting over. Several of us have fallen off the wagon before. You just get back on and get going. So this getting started right call can happen at any point, and really with anybody. If you want to do a GSR with a coworker, right, another teammate, maybe it's really more of like a thought partner and working through, it's kind of a mentoring session of questions and really thinking through what it is that you want to do versus necessarily having all the right answers, if that makes sense. So the 3 pieces to getting right call is inviting. When you're going to, and this is like you inviting people to your team. So when you're talking to people about coaching, when you're talking to people about, the business or this community of people that you're part of, what you talk about, you attract. So if you're talking about just having the discount, you're going to get just discount coaches. If you're talking about this amazing community of support and uplifting people, you're going to find people that are looking for that. If you are talking about people who, if you're talking about the freedoms that this provides you, the income that it's getting you, or the potential of the income that it can provide you, you're just talking about the value of what coaching has brought to your life and why that's important. Not always the nuts and bolts and the logistics, but the value and the feeling and the purpose that coaching gives you. Those are the kinds of things that people are going to expect to see when they go in there. Now, like, I expect to see Rachel Hollis talk about confidence and her own faith and be quirky and do all these kinds of things, because that's what I've experienced of Rachel Hollis from her books and her webinar and those kinds of things. So I know what I'm getting myself into. Same thing applies with this or anything else in your life. Like, you're going to expect what you've been told or what you've been taught when you get into it. So if you're only talking to people about the discount, and then the second column there, expectations, if you're only ever talked to about the discount, and then you get on the team and now all of a sudden your coach is like, okay, you have to invite and you have to post every day on social media, and you have to, be on these Zoom calls, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And why aren't you working? Like, you should invite these other coaches. You need to be building a team like that. That's a huge disconnect there, right? So making sure that your inviting process matches your expectations, that you have open communication with people, that you're setting goals with them, and that you're meeting them where they're at. And then you also have follow-up to the process where you're mentoring them, because it doesn't matter really if you're helping people or working with people. Coaching is mentoring people. And there's lots of forms of that, but we're going to talk about all three of these areas tonight. So with inviting, are you bold or are you wish-washy? Are you saying with conviction that this is something that you need to do and this is why you should do it? Or are you like, hey, I think you should join my team. And then they ask why, or they ghost you because you sound like, I don't know. You gotta be convicted in who you are and what you're doing, and not be worried about what they're gonna say back. If they say no, okay, move on. Find somebody else to talk to about it. It's maybe not the time for them. No doesn't mean no. No means not yet. No means I don't have enough information. No means I don't believe in it yet. No means a lot of different things besides no. Okay. So be prepared for no's. Understand that there's going to be times and things that you're going to get lots of no's. But, think about what you're talking about. What message are you sending to people? Maybe do an audit of your social media with somebody else on the team, or myself, or your coach. Think about what is that you're talking about. Are you just talking about fitness, nutrition, and support? Or are you talking about community, freedoms, and friendships? It sends out two different vibes. And then also think about how many invites are you sending out a week. If you're frustrated that you're not growing a team, or you're frustrated that you're not hitting Success Club, do a gut check. How many people are you talking to in a week? The average is about 10% of the people are going to join you. So what does that look like? If you are sending 10 messages out, one person's going to probably respond to you, statistically speaking. If you send out 20 messages, that's 2 people. 30 messages, there's your 3 people for Success Club, if statistics hold true. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but you have to start talking to people and inviting them, creating relationships around things. And then be super specific with your language that you're using with people when you're inviting to the business. One thing that I started doing more so of lately is really just talking about inviting to the community. And I talked with Steph quite a bit today about this, and because she's really trying to build her business now, her team. And so we were really talking about inviting to her community group, really. This is the whole community as a whole, but then they get to choose what level of community they want to be a part of. And so, really posting out in her social media about joining this community and the purpose and the value that she's got from coaching, and how the fitness and the nutrition and all those things kind of wrap into it. But it's the community and the friendships and, that, how did she put it today? She's really looking for the people that it's just part of their blood of being an athlete and being a coach. And so those are the people that she's looking for. And so knowing who your niche is, knowing who you want to have part of your team, and then how you talk to them is so important. Julianne's call last night with Happy and Fit was awesome in how she words things, and just listen to those kinds, listen, anytime you can listen to Trina, anytime you can listen to Julianne, anytime you can listen to Kim Fitzpatrick, anytime you can listen to Bonnie Engel, they have just a wording phrase. I don't like to listen to Bonnie very often because her voice drives me nuts. And I doubt she'll ever watch this. However, she has good nuggets. I know Candace is probably laughing her head off right now. Expectations. How you invite people like I said earlier, feeds right into expectations. The definition of disappointment is actually unmet expectations. Isn't that so true? Like, you're disappointed when the things that don't happen in life that you thought they were going to happen, that they didn't leave up to your full expectations. So if you're talking to people only about the 25% discount and then expecting them to do vital behaviors, there's a disconnect there. Your conversations need to be goals oriented. And so if you if you're bringing on a coach, whether from the very beginning of a messaging people, making sure that you are talking to them in a way that you're really knowing their goals. And this is one of the reasons why I really love Share a Cart and versus just having links before, is because it's definitely forced me to talk more to people and figuring out specifically what their goals are. That's what I also love about Beachbody On Demand, is that I could, instead of just like, hey, this is the latest challenge pack, you should get it, I can say, hey, what are specifically, something for you that you need? Okay, you can't do impact. All right, well, I'm not going to have you do Insanity Max 30. Okay, you need something that's less than 30 minutes. All right, we're not going to do hammer and chisel. You need to something that's, or 80-day obsession, like figuring out specifically what their needs are, and then matching it to them specifically. And as you know their goals, and as you share more about coaching with them in the conversation, would you like to, I would really like for you to, my first goal with you is for you to get good self-care. So we're going to find the perfect program for you. We're going to hook you up with your favorite flavor of Shakeology. It's going to help you do this and this. And then my second goal with you is to help you pay for your challenge pack. Does that sound like you'd be interested in that? And then they ask what that means. And so you can talk to them in ways about like, would you like to get your Shakeology paid for? Would you like to, get reimbursed for what you're doing here? Do you have a couple friends that you'd like to invite? We are the only ones that make it icky. We're only the ones that make it complicated. So they don't really have any expectations other than what we set for them. So if you're talking to them about goals and figuring out what's matching them, they're definitely going to be more trusting of you to go a little bit farther maybe and start the process. Now, I don't want to discount coaches, obviously, because I was a discount coach. 89% of my team are discount coaches originally. And so definitely it's how you continue to talk to people. Like they may start out as a discount coach, but continuing to build value for them, and continuing to build belief in them and showing them the way will help them feel like, hey, yeah, I can do this too. Build their confidence, build the belief inside of them that they are capable of doing it, and showing them that it's not as hard as it looks. And you do that by setting up the expectations and role modeling for them what that looks like. Am I going too fast? Do I have anything in the comments? Jill, good?
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so when you have the discount coaches, like you just said, and you're going to keep adding value to them, maybe they signed up and they're perfectly content with just getting the discount. Do you put them in your team page for the business?
Yeah, all my coaches are in RISE&FIT. We have all of my coaches are in RISE&FIT because that's our community of support and uplifting people. We also talk a lot of business in RISE&FIT. My discount coaches are also in my challenge groups. So wherever they plug into as their 100% support, that's fine, but they always have access to me. And when I send out emails, I sent out emails this week, maybe yesterday, to all of my PS coaches, and was like, this is how I'm supporting everyone. If you want to work more in the business, here's some information for you as well. I'm here for everyone. So just because they're discount coaches, don't just treat them like challengers. Give them all the information, but let them decide what they're going to do with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
But Kim, as far as adding them into Team RISE&FIT, you are not adding them to all the other different teams. You're just adding them into Team RISE&FIT, just so they're not overwhelmed. Just to clarify, right?
Right. Yeah. Good point. So like the last couple coaches that I just added, Aaron and Jamie and Brooke, they're just in RISE&FIT. When I get on that one-on-one call with them, we've got scheduled, then knowing what their goals are, then I will add them up if that's their goals to move up, because I want them to have access to Happy and Fit. I want them to have access to Rockstar Fit, so that they can be a part of those, the live videos and stuff. But if their goal is 100% to just be at the moment, they'll get plenty of business talk in Rise and Fit. So I don't want to overwhelm them. Right. Other questions?
You're probably going to get to it here in a minute. So.
Okay. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So from invites to expectations, now they say, yeah, I want to do this. So how do you do that, right? Well, you role model for them what you need them to do. The speed of the leader is speed of the pack. So when I'm starting to feel frustrated about how things are going or maybe not going, I have to do a gut check myself. I have to say, what are you doing? How are you showing up for the team? How are you role modeling for them? Have you been transparent with them about what you've been doing behind the scenes? I'm a red and I'm a white. And those of you who have not taken the color test yet, that means that I put my head down and I get to work. I'm not always very good at communicating out all the stuff that I've done. So I get it done, but I don't always share about how I do that. So I need to be better at that. And I know that about myself. It's taken personal development and self-reflection and mentoring with me to be able to do that. So being role modeling for them, letting them know what they're doing, encouraging them always, sharing, not always sharing advice, but sharing what you're doing and helping them set goals for themselves. Giving information at a steady pace based on their goals, but then also not like super overwhelming them with like a fire hose worth of information. Like the last phrase on their death by trainings, that was a phrase that we heard out at NLC. I believe it was Doug Moss was like, this is just what happens. Like people, like they sign up as a coach and they're all excited and they're super pumped. And they're like, yes, I'm going to be a coach. It's going to be amazing. And then they get thrown into this group, this little self-paced training or this 30-day training, and people don't touch base with people, and they just expected to go through this training before they can even have a conversation. And all that excitement and enthusiasm is like sucked right out of them. And so we've been really talking about that over and over with like diamond leaders on our teams and things like that. How can we continue to keep that excitement going and make things simple for people? And Trina said this morning, it will only seem scary if we make it scary. And so the more confident you can show up for people, the more you can be prepared, the more comfortable and confident they're going to be with you when they get started. So build on their excitement. Really talk right away about who are the people that you can help. Who do you want to do this with? Who would be a good accountability partner for you in your life? What are, who are some people in your family, in your neighborhood, in your friends group that you think might want to be able to do this with you, either as a customer or as a coach under them? Like and then you can also use the phrase of like, you can sign them up just like you did. And so if they have only one expectation, not all this complicated, well, you could be a coach, or you could be a discount coach, or you could be an active coach. Like if we just said, just sign up the way you did, things get a lot less complicated because they've done that. They know what to expect there, and they can help someone do the same thing. If that makes sense. Now you don't want to do it like shady and like people don't know that they're a coach, but like signing up and really explaining it to them about keeping their excitement excited, keeping about, really helping people or knowing how their life has been changed with a program or a product, and then telling other people about it. So, help them with their pace. If someone comes in and tells you like, I really just don't feel like I can help other people without losing my weight first, like honor that. That's their goal. That's where they want to be, but continue to come back to them, continue to follow up with them. How are you doing? Are you, kind of gauge their confidence level? What is it, like maybe invite them to be a part of your challenge group. Like that was the kicker that did it for me. Like I got invited to be a guest post, sit in for Lauren Lundberg because she was going on honeymoon. And so I did the post that day, and then I was like, hey, this isn't so bad. I can do this. Right. And it made it way less overwhelming, and just kind of, I was given information at my speed, and it worked out pretty well, I think. So what else? So, how do you, someone says yes, you have to start with invitations first. So Jill comes on board and she says, yes, I wanted to be an active coach. Great. Okay. First you have to invite people. Do you know people that might want to do this with you? Help them craft a message, help them craft, what they might want to say. Use their words, obviously do it together. Don't write it for them. Don't send them yours. That's not how they talk. But work together on something that you could send out to people. Maybe create a first post for them, craft it together. What is it they feel comfortable sharing about their journey? What is it that's been awesome for them? Why do they want to coach? Why do they want to invite people? Make that first post together. And then when you have a message to send out right away, to when people start responding with likes and hearts and comments below, that's when you really mentor them and show them the steps to how to do it. I was thinking about this the other day, like when a baby's first starting to walk, learning, you help them, you coddle them in a little way, you hold on to their fingers so they can get their balance. And then when they've got their balance, then you sit across the room and you're like, okay, come to me. And they have to be brave and step out. They have to do it themselves. Obviously, a baby has to step away from that chair or the couch, whatever they're leaning against, to come towards you. But you're encouraging them the entire time. You're helping them. You've helped them with confidence and balance and whatever the little tools that they needed in order to get to that point. And so the same thing happens here. We're all moms. We kind of get that analogy, right? Or most of us are moms. But helping with that analogy there, you can help them with all the little pieces along the way the first couple times and help them get their feet under them. And then it seems way less complicated. It seems way less overwhelming, and they feel better about the process, and you feel good about the process for helping them. One of the quotes, I said this a million times over, one of the quotes that was on my board in my office at school was, the best way to help someone, or best way to forget your own problems, is to help someone with them, help someone with theirs. And so, if you're struggling with what you need to be doing as a coach, whether it's getting it done or you're just, feeling blue, go help somebody else do something, and then you'll just feel so much better, right? I guarantee it. Do it. It's good. So start with invitations with people. When they say yes, don't throw them into a crazy training or tell them to worry about creating their own challenge group or worrying about, setting up all these accounts and doing all this stuff. Just help them start with an invite. That invite can be on social media. The invite can be face-to-face. They could be going to a family reunion. They could be going to, we just had the 4th of July. They could be going to a holiday celebration. What is it that they can start talking to people? Give them some wording to talk about when there are people that compliment them on how they look, or what their new energy level, or, how nice they look in their jeans, or, it's wedding season. How can they talk to people? And give them those tools. And then also, once they've kind of start getting comfortable with that, teach them how Share a Cart works, because that's the easiest way for them to be able to send something and track the process of it. And so if they know how to either send a link or send a Share a Cart, that's going to be their best bet, because they're going to get excited. They're going to be talking to someone, and then they're going to say, yeah, I'd like more information. And then they're going to panic because they don't know how to do that. So, start with that process, and then they'll be fully prepared when the time comes. And if they still need to come to you for help with that, totally cool too. I have sent lots of links for people, to people of their own stuff to send to other people over the years. And it's totally fine, just helping them get through the process. And then setting expectations right away. When they're ready for it, they want to start actively coaching. They're inviting people, they're getting people on board, and they're really starting to make a go of it. And then it's really when you start setting up the expectations of, this is how you are successful. Okay. That you need to show up every day, that consistency is key, just like it is in your health and your fitness yourself. When you miss multiple days, or you don't drink your shake every day, or you fall off the wagon nutritionally, you feel it, right? Same thing's going to happen in your business. Consistency is key. Also talk about coach etiquette. So there are lots of us that live in the same town. There are lots of us that have the same number of friends. There's lots of us that maybe have our paths have crossed at some point. And, it's just possible that if someone comes to you and that like the first red flag is like they already have Beachbody on Demand, or they're very familiar with our products, or maybe they've already tried Shakeology sometime. Like asking those kinds of questions to know whether they have a coach or not is something that's important. And I really put this in here because it's been a hot topic on the roundtable lately, which is the Facebook group for 5 stars and above. It's been a huge deal. There's been some pretty high coaches that are like, okay, poaching needs to stop, I think was the title of something that happened before, most recently. And it was really of like, this coach had done a whole 80 days with this person, and then she comes to find out that she signed up with another team. And it was just kind of like, how did this happen? So making sure that you're talking to them about that right away, that you're setting those expectations of when someone comes and wants to work with you, are you familiar with things? And if yes, are you already have a coach? Point them back in that direction and go that route first. Okay. And then if they want to change, okay, the customer always is right. But always do your due diligence in sending them back. This last thing, one of the things is like definitely connect them to the community. It's one of the things that I love the most about this business is the community of people. Getting on Zooms like this, learning how you can improve. The good coaches, the people that really want this, to do something with this, to be successful, are going to figure it out. So, but how do they figure it out? They go out and learn. They try new things. They get on calls like this and listen. I was wanting to learn more about GSRs. What are other people doing? I asked a lot of questions. I asked questions of leaders on our own teams. I asked questions of people on the roundtable. I asked questions in my test group. I got on YouTube and I searched for GSR calls, and I just listened to how are you doing this, and to bring some information to you guys tonight, but just to also improve my own practice. Like, what is some wording I can use? How can I talk to people? You can do the same thing. And so just making sure that you're getting connected to the community, you're diving into personal development. And then as you start to, getting them connected to personal development, having some good book suggestions to give right away. I usually send The Compound Effect to all my new coaches, or sometimes I send You're a Badass, or I'm really thinking about sending The Happiness Advantage to people here this week. I need to send them to my 3 new coaches. So it's just something that you start doing and like set those expectations right away. And then when they're ready, talk about the basics of the Coach Online Office. If you have a discount coach, they're really probably not ever going to get into their Coach Online Office. And so it's really kind of wasted time for you and them to talk about it. If they're getting into Rise and Fit 101, you can definitely add them in there. And so when they're ready, they can take advantage of that. But just know that if someone is just wanting to be a discount coach, it's all about their goals. It's all about what they want to do. And so give them the right amount of information for their goals and go from there. Once they get, through 101, they can go to the Coach Collaborative Training, which is the self-paced one, or Rock the Business, which is more of the monthly, daily thing. And then again, resourceful coaches will figure it out. They will ask questions. They'll go find the information. They'll dig, and they'll try trial and error kind of thing. So, that's kind of what to do. You have to be worried about knowing all the answers. Any questions there?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so where in this kind of timeline are you doing the GSR? Is it right away? Like in days?
Yes. Yeah, I have. So like I signed up 3 coaches this last week, and my GSRs with them are this coming week. I'm having conversations with them as soon as possible, whether I actually get on a phone call with them, whether I get on a Zoom call with them like this, or I'm just talking with them in Messenger. I'm wanting to figure out what their goals are. I want to figure out what they're doing right away. And I send an email to them right away when they join. Now it started out as Julianne's, and I customize it every single time I send it to somebody. So it's never the same email to the same people, or to different people. So it starts out, and then I personalize why I'm excited. I don't say freaking excited because I don't say that. That's a Julianne phrase. But why am I excited that they're joining? Give specifics. So like with Erin this last week, I said, I'm super excited that you're joining our team. I know you're going to love this because you're really good at lifting in high school. It really helped you strengthen up for when you were doing, she did shot put for our track team. I know this is really going to help you get strong, and it's easy because it's only 4 days a week, right? I don't remember exactly everything I said, but then the next couple paragraphs are there. I definitely want to help people with confidence. And you guys all know that's my jam. That's what Choosing to Rise is all about. I always add them to the team page, and I have that linked here. And then I have the social or the Coach Collaborative page is linked here as well. So they can request access to that at any time, but they have the information right away. Okay. And then that information goes to them pretty immediately from signing up. And then we set up there's a thing in here that says, I want to set up a one-on-one call with you to talk. And so that is something that happens right away. And then we set up a time and we go from there and we figure out what their goals are. And then the rest of it just kind of plays off of their goals. So.
Okay, so if you talk to somebody, somebody purchased a challenge pack, and really that's why they came to you, and that's why you had the conversation, and that's why they bought it, but then they saw the beauty and wisdom in getting the discount.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have a GSR?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it would depend on like, is it, yeah. And you can just start that off with, I know that you're just interested in the discount, but I send this to all of my coaches just so everybody is on the equal playing field. Okay. I want you to know that there is more than a 25% discount, and I'm here to help you at any point if you want to do that.
Okay.
Brooke, that just came on our team, she is just discount. Like, she's an exception. I do not have a GSR set up with her because she's been a part of our team before. And she's literally in just for the discount. I know that. We're good friends. Exception to the rule. But the other two, we've got set up, ready to go. And you'll find out that, really, if they're really wanting to be more of a discounted coach, like just a regular customer, I know Jamie's, one of the reasons why she really jumped in this time is because she wanted to be in the Joel test group. Great, you're in. So maybe she's just hanging out in I'll find out this next week, but she'll just be hanging out in the challenge group. That's fine. I know she's already commenting, or not commenting necessarily, but liking a few things in our team page. So I think that's also important to have them in the team page so they can see the community that's there. And why we try to make it not all business, Sometimes it feels that way, but it's not always that way. More questions? Let's see what else is up here. Yeah, those are good questions, Kara, to ask. Yes, Misty. They've never been contacted by anybody. I've had several of those. I just had a coworker actually message me, and she was like, can I be a part of your groups? And I was like, you have a coach. It's a friend from high school. She's like, yeah, she quit, and I have no idea who the person is above her. And like, I've never met her ever. And I was like, okay. I was like, have you reached out to that person? Have you talked to that person? And she was like, she said no, because she's just like, I don't want to work with that person. I've never met them. I said, okay, I think you should still reach out to them, but it's your choice. So she's recently moved over. And customers and coaches is a completely different thing, but like, but that coach etiquette is there. You don't want people taking from you. Don't do it to other people. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. This is what I wanted to hit. Okay. So yes, they want to do this. Are they ready for that? Now the follow-up comes in. So you've started the conversations with them. You you know what their goals are. You know what they want to accomplish. From over here of they just want to lose the weight, they just want to get tone, they just want to discount Shakeology, over to I want to start running this business. I want to be a diamond by the end of the month. Anybody ever get one of those people? Yeah, me either. Okay, but it's about building those beliefs and helping those people get there. So figuring out what it is that they want to accomplish. Get on the phone right away, get on a Zoom right away, make some sort of initial contact with them. For me, that's an email to get started. Or if it's a customer even, it's regardless if they're a coach or a client, you're mentoring them. That's who you are as a coach. So it's really not that much different if you're really doing your clients justice. Our job starts when the purchase is made, not when not before. So a lot, Lululemon or Scentsy or whatever, like they do the work to make the sale and then they're done with that person, right? 'Cause, like they've made the sale, their job is done. Our job starts once they actually get the stuff. And so now is our time to mentor them and to help them be more confident and help them lose the weight that they want, reach their goals. And so it all requires mentoring. It all requires questions. It all requires helping them think through what that is that they want to achieve and pouring belief into them that they can do that. And so you're going to have to-do lists for both parties. When you have a call like this, or you have a message thread that's going, make sure that people walk away with a to-do list. It should not all be a to-do list on your part of everything that you're going to do, because they have to have some skin in the game. But on the same side, you don't want their to-do list to be 100 things long and you're just like, okay, see you later. Like it should be a mutual thing. You're mentoring them, you're helping them with things. Today I had a conversation with Stephanie about some things, and her to-do list, she walked away with 2 action items and I walked away with 2 action items. So she's going to go forward and do these things in her business. My job was to find this resource for her and send it to her. And my other job was to find another resource and send it to her. I was going to talk about inviting to communities and make some connections for her. So I take notes when I have calls. So making sure I know what my to-do list is. And so you're mentoring people regardless, whether it's a coach or client. So just get in the practice of doing that, of asking questions, of following up. Many of us follow up with our challengers at different times. Like I'm a Sunday person. And so I'm really starting to do, especially now that I'm home more, I'm starting to do more follow-ups with my coaches as well, getting on one-on-one calls with them, doing more support systems, helping people build their businesses, but also just reach their goals. So, following up with them is really important. And so what is a getting started right call? It's really just figuring out what they want from this, whether it's to lose the weight or to build a multi-million-dollar business, asking more questions than you take in, then you answer questions. Ask a lot of questions, dig deeper with people. It's a lot more empowering if they can come to the answer themselves than if you are constantly just giving them the information. And then giving them resources right away, even if they say not yet, communicating that why with them. That's why I give them that starting right email. They have the opportunity, the ball is in their court, but I don't flood them with information. I just give them the resources to say, here's the starting line. You can cross it when you're ready. And then setting goals based on where they're at, and then following up with those goals and keep moving them forward. And then always continue to invite them again. Like, I don't know how many times I've invited the discount coaches in my second CBC to be active coaches. But that was my own fault. Like I started talking to them about the discount. I wanted them to sign up so I could get to my 8 coaches, and hoped and prayed that one of them and some of them would go Emerald. And that hasn't happened, because that's how I talk to them all. I talk to them all about being discount coaches. So none of them are thinking, I want to work the business. So now my goal is to find working coaches that want to work the business and getting them there so my second CBC can go to Diamond. So that's my goal right now. That's how I'm talking to people now. But I'm also not pushing people into directions that they don't want to go. So it's more about simplifying the system and doing it just like I talked to you guys tonight about, like inviting with purpose and showing other possibilities, meeting them where they're at, and helping them see the next step in front of them. Sarah Morrison has said this for a long time, is like you show them 6 feet in front of them, not 60 feet, but 6 feet in front of them. You know, that's 3 strides. That's just a little bit that they can work on. But like, you know, if you set the bar too high for them, then they get confused and overwhelmed and uncertain. And so you want to get them started right by just taking a couple steps of time and move forward in a way that's going to help them reach their goals, build their confidence, and then possibly keep going with you. So that's what I have for you tonight. It's a full hour now. If you have more questions, please ask. And I'm an open book as always. Was this helpful tonight? Yeah? I'll read the chat. Yes, it builds a lot of trust to meet them where they're at.
Kim, are you pointing people more towards the coach training rather than the Rise and Fit 101?
I think they have 2 different purposes. So Rise and Fit 101 is like the very basics of like posting, being consistent on social media, how to set your EFT, like everyone should be put in there, just in case. And I even always tell people, like, you should set up your EFT just in case you ever want to help somebody else. Like my mom even has her EFT set up. Okay. So like, it's just one of those things of like, just have it done, because you never know when something's going to happen. And you don't want to get that $225 taken out of your check because you get a physical check in the mail. So, you know, that Rise and Fit 101 is really for everybody. But it takes open communication to share with them about why you're putting them in there and what the purpose of it is, so they understand, they know what the expectations are. The coach training, the coach collaborative one, or Rock the Business, which essentially they're the same thing, those are more like in-depth. I want to be a runner. I want to learn more about the business things. So I have had some discount coaches just go through the process with that because they were interested. They were curious of what it was like. But, you know, not very many people that are wanting to be discount coaches do that, but it's always available to them. So. Was this overwhelming? Was this a fire hose, people? Did I break my own rule? You guys are awfully quiet. I have you muted.
I think one of the biggest things that I keep on taking from these types of calls for the GSR is, you know, we are so heavy on canned responses. I know myself, I'm trying to be so efficient with time and just making sure like it sounds like me. I mean, it's funny because I think about like my posts like a year ago, and my posts a year ago did not sound like me. They sounded like another coach. And guys, you can't go wrong with being you. I love the saying where you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. I've learned in this journey to be a little bit more selective, and I just saw Trina's post on Instagram the other day, and she just kind of did an intro and introduced herself, and she's like, I never thought I'd be the girl that, you know, would run this business, be good at business or whatever. And then she talked about the coaching opportunity, and she talked about, you know, if you're interested in this, I want to hear from you, but I want to let you know I'm very selective in this process, because there's 2 options in this opportunity. You either work hard to find your runners and to find your tribe before you invite, or you work hard to build them to their potential. So, I mean, it's not a quick fix business, and everybody on this call already knows that, but I mean, it's so true. I mean, you either put the work in like trying to find your runners and not leading with the discount, or you lead with the discount. And how many of us are discount coaches that are on this call? Yeah. So I just find that I hope you guys take some encouragement to that, because don't take it as like an uphill battle, but I mean, it's worth it. But it's work on either side.
Yeah. I think when we hustle hard for certain goals, we want that shiny object that's at the end sometimes, and we're looking for warm bodies. And I agree with your comment there, Jill. You have to stop and think sometimes, like, do I really want this person a part of my tribe? Because when you have them as a customer, there's like that, there's still kind of that, yes, you're part of my community, but you're not like my people, and then when you get into your tribe like this, like now, like, these are the people I really want to work with. These are the people that I'm connected to. Like when you think about those of us that have had day jobs or, whatever, like you have that one person in your day job that you're just like, I do not want to work with you anymore. And you don't want to have, but the powerful thing about this is that you get to decide who is at that table, right, with you. So I appreciate and love all of you on here. You're brought on by, many of you are not my PS coaches. You're brought on by other cool people that were here. So there's some trust factor there in bringing on cool people that match our tribe. But you essentially just have to do you and know who your people are and what your community is about. So, and hopefully we've made a good impression on Michelle. We're selective, but we only bring cool people on. Any other comments, questions, thoughts?